Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Today what I have for you is a little chat about my favorite teas for spring and summer. There are so many absolutely beautiful things that you can sip and savor all through the spring and summer season, and I've collected all sorts of goodies here on this table because I like my tea almost as much as I like my wax. So let's just start a sipping away today, and I hope you enjoy. Let's first cover the basics about how you would even make and brew a good cup of tea. Please use water that's filtered, not something that comes out of the tap that already has strange flavors that are going to make your tea off. Make sure that you're using a kettle where you can control the temperature, or you have some sort of a thermometer where you can read what the temperature of the water is before you brew. Make sure that you read the instructions that are on every single pouch or tin. Each and every company is going to have a different proportion, different times for brewing, different temperature suggestions. The common sense basics are that you would brew black or herbal around 212 for about 5 minutes. That oolong would be more like 190 to 195 in 4 minutes. That white would be maybe 185 to 190 in 4 minutes. And that then your greens or very delicate teas would be 170 to 175 around 3 minutes. But the mileage varies depending on the company. So then after you have those things, how are we going to really physically brew a good cup of loose tea? Because some people will open something like this, and if they've never seen loose tea before in their life, they get a little bit intimidated by such a thing. So you're going to want something like a tea filter. This one's upside down. And this is my favorite way to get them. This is from Adagio, which is one of the companies, and I will mention all of my favorite companies before we start looking at the individual teas, where this is, I think, 100 filters. I don't remember exactly how much they are, and you're going to put whatever the requested amount by that particular tin or pouch. You're going to put that amount with your measuring spoon. These little things are very important. My mom always says, well, why is your tea better than mine? She throws whatever she wants in at whatever temperature she wants and mixes it often and then wonders why it's terrible. You have to be precise about this. I promise you it will yield a much nicer cup of tea. So let's say that you needed 2 teaspoons of black. So you're going to measure that out. You're going to put it in here. And then you're going to take your nice hot water and either brew in a very nice teapot like this, or you could brew it in a big mug and just, take this out, and make sure you take this out when the timer is over, because a lot of people forget and then it ruins your tea because this will steep way past the time that it was supposed to. So those are basics. Now my favorite companies that I will order from often are Adagio, and I'm going to show you the packaging for each of them. This is the type of packaging from Adagio. That's the same place that I usually get my tea filters. Simpson and Vale, and these guys have very tricky brewing requirements. The amount of tea and the timing is very different than your typical. The Republic of Tea, which is one of my absolute gold standard favorites, and they always have these round tins and actually round tea bags. This is one of the few companies where I don't usually do loose. Theirs is so good even in the tea bag. Then a new one that my friend Tammy introduced me to last fall is called Plum Deluxe. They just come in these cute little packages, so if you want a lot of their tea, you have to order multiples. Then we have the Spice and Tea Exchange, which I've run into before in different resort towns down in Florida, but we now have one in Rochester, not that far from where I live. And last but not least, I only have one tea right now from this lady, but her company is exceptional. It's called the Chai Box, and this specific tea, which we will talk about, is one of my all-time favorites of like the past 10 years. I am not kidding. So another one which I have nothing of is Rishi. That's a very good brand. I mean, there are so many, but those are really the ones that I'm going to be recommending to you here in this video. So let's start with what I think is kind of a trending thing with tea right now, and is where they combine rose and cardamom. And I will show you some other more traditional rose blends that have been around much longer in my chat about rose type things. You can get rose that comes with green. Typically you're going to pair it with black. Sometimes it'll be an herbal, and I'll show you some of each, I believe. So what I have here is a very traditional one from the tea table itself, and this is called Buckingham Palace Garden Party. So if you want your afternoon tea with friends, English style, this is a good one. So this is going to have black and green from Kenya, China, Sri Lanka, and India. Then it's got bergamot, it has jasmine, it's got coneflowers, and I could have sworn that there was rose in this. If there isn't, then you all can laugh at me because I put it in my rose grouping. Okay, guess what? I guess this one just has jasmine, and I have a jasmine section too. So lucky me, that is not in the right spot, but it's a really good, traditional, very nice tea that you could do for any English tea afternoon type experience. So let's go to the ones that actually have rose. Victorian Chai Black. This is absolutely exquisite. So this one's got Victorian era flavors of chai, which that's not really Victorian, but delicate florals, and it's really good even cold. So this one has definitely got the rose. You can see it right in here. And it has beautiful chai spices, but more you get something like a cardamom and the subtle notes of chai, not your really hot cinnamons and things, and maybe even a little bit of lavender, I'm not sure. Sometimes you can get a black tea that's rose and lavender, and it's just phenomenal. Maybe some Earl Grey in there too. Oh, so then we have this literary tea with Emily Dickinson's namesake moniker on it. This is gorgeous. And this one's a little bit more delicate. I think this is like more oolong brewing temperature. Yes, 195 for 3 minutes. And this is probably a mix of oolong and green tea. And it's got the jasmine flowers and it's got the rose petals. And you really think you should be reading Jane Austen or Emily Dickinson's poems when you have this one. So then probably the most exceptional tea that's on this whole table when it comes to something a little exotic is this Chai Box Hill Station tea, you guys. This is absolutely exquisite. I've never smelled anything this rich. It has cardamom pods, it has rose, it has really good black tea, and the simplicity of it belies its elegance and its beauty. You have to get this. Now, this is another one where you have to fuss with the brewing, but it's just probably the absolute best tea on this table. I've never smelled anything quite like it. Let me show you the cardamom pods that are in here if I can get one out. See that? Can you see how there's like the little pod thing? And I do have my camera on for like a special cinematic type focus, so it's harder to put things right up in front. But those are just so good. So then another one which doesn't have any black or green or anything else type tea in it that's similar to the Hill Station from the Chai Box, so sort of the poor man's version, a little less expensive, not quite so swanky, is from Plum Deluxe. And I just had this for the first time this morning before I filmed. This is Portland Rose City Chai. So no green or black tea in here, but the flavors are so good. This one's got almond rooibos. Oh, I guess it does have some black tea. So see, I'm making myself out to be a liar with these. There are too many where they're just really good, and just enjoy them, and just don't listen to me tell you that there's something in here that there isn't. Almond rooibos, Oregon rose petals, cardamom, ginger. This one has cinnamon, lemongrass, and blackberry essence. So if you wanted a little earthier than the Hill Station, this is going to be your scent. Oh my goodness, you guys. So this is also from Plum Deluxe. Like some of the others I'm going to share with you that come in the little pouches. This is a very nice brand, and they have a lot of very good unique tea. This is really, really exceptional. So that's everybody with rose, or that I think has rose in it. Let's move on to more traditional blacks. There is one here which, up against the one from the Chai Box, is the other absolutely outstanding, blew my mind when I was brewing it tea. This is called Kitchen Table Black from Plum Deluxe. Kitchen Table Blend Black. This has black tea, green tea, lemongrass, rose petals, and jasmine, lemon, lime, orange, and grapefruit essence. So I never melt this bar, but this made me think of my friend Linda and her love of Sunkissed Citrus from Scentsy, which claims to have all that in its bar. This tea, my younger daughter and I were fighting over the very first pouch of this that we got because I didn't know it was so good. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's authentic, beautiful citrus essence with the black tea. There's just nothing like this. Please, if you're only going to order one thing that I recommend from this video and you like black tea at all, try this one. The Kitchen Table Blend Black from Plum Deluxe. It's fairly priced. It brews well. It's pretty normal in its brew ratios and time and all that. It's just phenomenal. So then if you want something that's a little bit more English, the Charles Dickens blend that comes from Simpson and Vale, where again, this one's going to have more tea, less time for its ratios. This is so nice. This is a really good rainy afternoon style tea. I like it a lot. Then we're going to go to probably the most traditional, just regular black that I have here to recommend for spring summer. The Three Gardens blend from Republic of Tea. This isn't too heavy because a lot of times really just robust black tea might be better for fall winter unless you just, drink it builders like the people in England do, where you're going to have all the sugar and all the cream, and then you're going to want something like an English breakfast or an Irish breakfast, something like that. But this is really good, and it's somewhat sophisticated because it has the 3 different tea gardens blended together into it. It's really nice. So then, let's move on to a different category of tea where Oolong is kind of an unusual one. I would love to know which of you that are watching this already drink Oolong and you know that it's halfway in between the green and the black. Like, it's partially oxidized. It's not all the way oxidized like a black tea is, and it's not like a green or a white tea, which really isn't allowed to do that. It has a very interesting type of leaf and really high quality Oolong, which I don't have any on the table. It's extremely expensive, and you can rebrew that multiple times because the leaves are so phenomenal. But this tea right here, this is an island vacation for a pretty cheap price. This is called Coconut Oolong, just plain old Oolong tea from the Spice and Tea Exchange. This is the best coconut tea I've ever had in my life. I'm not kidding you. And then second to that would be the creamy toasted coconut from Simpson and Dale. This is a little bit more all year round. This has really beautiful high quality Oolong bits in here. Like these tea leaves will unfurl. They start kind of curly and they will just expand in your infusing device. But this one's a little bit earthier, so I will use this a lot in the fall also, where this is sweet and pure and gorgeous. And if you like Oolong, that would be a little bit different. Maybe you don't do coconut. Almond Oolong from Adagio is also just a really nice quality, not too expensive, but just slightly nutty, good for summer. So probably really good ice, kind of an Oolong tea. Oh, this is beautiful. It has really good sweet almond qualities. So that is a type that people, I think, forget to explore. Now, green tea, when I'm thinking of recommending summer and spring teas, that's really where my mind goes. So I have a whole bunch of that here, and I do have some herbals also. So we'll want to do the straight up herbals last. Let's go to the best, which one's the best green tea? I think the best green tea here is also from Plum Deluxe, and it's called Tropical Vacation Green, you guys. This is so good. And I don't usually like strawberry all that well in tea, but I've got 2 of them here that are similar. One's a little bit more like summer in the garden, and this one's more like goes to the tropics. Phenomenal strawberry blend green teas. Oh my gosh, this is what got me hooked on Plum Deluxe, my very first order. Green tea, coconut pieces, strawberry pieces, pineapple, green rooibos, pineapple, strawberry, and vanilla essence. You guys, just brew this. Tell the kids to go outside and play if you're a busy, harried mom. I throw my dogs out there. And put on some happy music. Put in a good wax. I've got some I'll recommend at the end. And sip yourself some of this tropical green, and you'll have a little vacation moment. It's so good. So one that is similar but doesn't have the coconut in it is going to be Strawberry Meadows, and this is also from the Spice and Tea Exchange. So this one has strawberry, green tea, orange peel. It's, like I said, a little bit more summer farmer's market and less coconut. But this is really, really good. Both of these that I just described to you have excellent, authentic strawberry flavor, and you don't need any sugar, you don't need anything with these. They're just amazing. So that was the hard-hitting ones, I think. Then the Queen's Blend Green. This is very nice if you want an elegant citrus green. This is sort of almost creamy and citrusy with that really nice light green tea finish. Oh, absolutely exquisite. And this one, if you like lemon, the Kitchen Table Black, I think, is a little bit better as far as, like, this just blew my mind. But this one's really good, too. Like, you could order both of these if you're a lemon lover and you like green and black. They're very good. Then there was one, and only one really, that I've come across where passion fruit is the star, and it's excellent. So this one is called their Abundance Blend, and this one's got sencha. And there are different types of green tea, too. We won't really go into that in the short period of time I've got here. Elderflower, calendula, passion fruit. I'm not going to go into it. There are different types of green tea, just like there are different types of black tea, different varieties. They come from different places. They have terroir, just like wine does. You know, it's also fancy so that you get the right experience. Okay, so I'll go into it a little bit. Let's say you have a black tea, and it's a particular variety like an Assam. You could grow that in several different places, maybe in China, maybe in India. It's all going to come out different. and it will have very specific to an estate or to a region type taste, just like when you have different kinds of wine. It's so fascinating. All right, so the Abundance blend. This has the most wonderful passion fruit, and that has nothing to do with where you grow it. That's just an oil that you throw in, and is so, so nice. So then my favorites from Good Old Republic, pineapple and ginger green. This is the thing that you put in your tea cup when you're just exhausted, you're tired, your tummy hurts, you're sad, you got a rainy morning, and you just need to pick me up. Like, this is my favorite thing all year long, all the time. One of my top 5 teas of all time in my life. Moroccan mint. This is a really good one, and this is loose leaf from them. This is what you want on the hottest day of summer where you were just sweltering and you want to be so cooled down. It's an elegant mint, really nice light green, and does a good job iced. Oh, this one's so good. Either way, this is just amazing. And then if you're not into all the fancy schmancy, this one, which is the Organic Dancing Leaves, this is just the nicest standard green tea, and I'm not sure which varieties are in this. I don't know if it's Sencha or if it's going to be any of the others. There are quite a few different ways that you can take your green tea. So then there are types of tea that don't just come in your traditional shapes. One of them is going to be the pearl style, and I don't have any of the cool little bricks or the little pressed hearts from some of the really interesting types of tea that even scare me a bit, like your Pu Air, which I don't even know if I can pronounce that right. That's a fermented tea that comes in pressed little bits and bobs, and that's not my thing. And of course, on camera, just like with my Scentsy videos, I'm not going to get this open so that I can show you the jasmine pearls, am I? There we go. Okay. So pearls, I've got black dragon pearls, and I have some nice green jasmine pearls here. It's a little bit different shape for your tea. So you see here, it's little round bits, and those will expand when you're going to put it into your tea kettle or your teapot, not your tea kettle. And this one with just the jasmine and the beautiful green tea. This is one of my favorites. It's pretty affordable when it comes to jasmine pearls because these are more expensive. And then the black dragon pearls, if I can get this one to come apart better. I think these are a little bit larger. This is one of my favorite summer black teas. It's simple, it's light. Yeah, this is better. And these are big. So you only need a couple of these in, and like I said, the way the camera is, if I put it up here, it's going to get all fuzzy on you. There we go. These big, beautiful black dragon pearls. It gives you a beautiful, complex, gorgeous, perfect for summer black tea experience. And that is one way that you have a different shape and delivery system for your tea. It's really cool. So then over here, I do have some nice herbals. A couple that are more dessert style and rather homey from Simpson and Vale. We've got this beautiful blueberry cinnamon crumble, and I like this early fall too. Oh, this is one of the nicest teas with blueberry. It is so good. It's really, really homey. It's got a little bit of spice, but it's not super heavy like a fall tea. So this has got green rooibos, currants, beetroot, that's weird, cinnamon, blackberry leaves, blueberry, just all sorts of good stuff. It's great. And then this one is carrot cake cupcake. And this one's a little spicier too, but it's really, really nice. And then I'm not going to open these because I have more on deck, but if you want a wellness tea that's still enjoyable, because some wellness teas you feel like you're going to be ill when you drink it because the herbs are so strongly associated with when you are sick. This one is really happy. This is turmeric bliss, and especially if you're trying to deal with anything where you've got inflammation, that kind of stuff, even on a day when your tummy's not sick. I love this one, especially after Christmas, but any time of the year it's good iced too. Fruity balance of apple pieces, orange, ginger, cinnamon, turmeric inclusion, rose hips, black peppercorn. I mean, it's got all sorts of stuff in here. This is a sweet, almost like a mango and light herbal, gorgeous, de-stressing kind of a tea. And then this one, the Arabica lemon turmeric, is really nice. So it's got coffee leaves, turmeric, citrus, and it's interesting because there isn't any tea. It does have some caffeine, but it tastes more like an herbal, and this one is such a good de-stressor also. And you cannot talk about tea without the peak of tradition, which is Earl Grey. So Earl Grey or vanilla, I would recommend this all year round. It's not even really spring, summer. This tea, my younger daughter and I fight over this one too. This is the best vanilla and Earl Grey blend I've found. It's absolutely phenomenal, you guys. So please try this one. The Hill Station The kitchen table black and this Earl Grey or vanilla, probably the ones that I would most heartily recommend. Earl Grey Bravo is nice for spring, summer. This one is from Adagio. That's not super expensive. That's really good. And then one that is always a staple for me, whether it's spring, summer, fall, or winter, is Blackberry Sage, which is great. Like today it's very overcast. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the camera because there isn't any good light. This is a perfect cup. And I will say, only this brand for Blackberry Sage. I've tried other people's Blackberry Sage and it only tastes like sage. This one tastes like blackberry. So don't mess around with that. If you want Blackberry Sage, you get the one from Republic of Tea. And then to go way off course, which has nothing to do with spring, summer, Russian Caravan Black, like a really nasty rainy day. This is a smoky tea. If you like lapsang souchong, which is so hard to say, you'll love this. This Russian Caravan, it just smells like a bonfire. Lit your tea up. It's so good. So this has distinctly smoky characteristics with kimun and lapsang, and it's earthy. It's so earthy and so good for a dark and stormy night, kind of a rainy day. So that is all of the tea. Now, what if you're going to have some friends over, or you're a mom who just needs a minute and you already love your wax? So I have a few things here. The most amazing thing out of all of my collection that would be perfect with an Earl Grey is something I just got from Teddy Bees, and I do understand that you would already have had to have purchased this from Teddy Bees recently, and I'm sorry if you are into, any other wax purveyors. I don't know where to find something that would be a dupe. Earl Ingstad, this loaf of happy good wax right here. Perfect for the kind of day I have today where I just want a cuddly cup of Earl Grey. This is cardamom cream, Palo Santo, Earl Grey, sweet pastries, and sugar crystals. Be still my heart. This is so good. This would also be amazing with the Portland Rose City chai or your Hill Station because of the cardamom. It's just, or even the Victorian chai that I had here. This is just staying at home with your fuzzy slippers and your cup of tea perfection wax. So then there are some herbal ones here that would be really nice for a cuddly spring day. Chamomile Petals was from Scentsy last spring, summer. And then chamomile and vanilla will be available, and I'm sorry this isn't focusing very well, in May from Scentsy in our wellness collection. So this is kind of almost like a chamomile, an old-fashioned chamomile. And I always have to recommend something from when I was a child. Cozy Chamomile, this by Bigelow. It's just its own thing, and even though it's just a plain down-to-earth little sachet of herbs, it's so good. So the chamomile and vanilla would go very well with that. Would go very well with the chamomile petals. If you wanted to do those coconut teas and have 5 minutes of island relaxation, Coconuts for Coconuts from Scentsy will blow your mind, but it's just so good, you guys. This would really put you in a tropical paradise mood with your tea. Then I have a couple that would go with like the Russian Caravan, the Earl Grey Bravo, that you would have had to have these from Scentsy last fall or throw them in your club. I've got Palo Santo and Cinnamon. I've got this amazing Midnight Mahogany. Oh, this would be so good with tea, you guys. Put this in your warmer and just sit down and relax with the blankie. And then if we really wanted to go full-on spring summer celebration, I've got Mojito Mambo, which this was available in a couple of whiff boxes and flash sales over the last couple summers. This would be so good if you wanted to do the pineapple ginger green or the Moroccan mint. Put this in your warmer, make yourself a tall glass of iced Moroccan mint tea, or Moroccan mint from the Republic. You guys will think you're on a vacation. It's just amazing. And then I've got a couple more here. Camu Camu would go amazingly with that Abundance passion fruit green tea I was telling you about, because this has lots of passion fruit and tropical happiness. And then last but not least, we had this crazy brick of beach daisy that was floating around last year. If you just wanted to feel like you were ready for an elegant summer garden party, put this in your warmers, go get some of that traditional Buckingham Palace tea that has no rose in it, and enjoy yourself. Because as wives and moms, a lot of times our little house is our castle. We don't have the time to go out and do a lot of things for ourselves that are on a bigger scale. And that's why you can enjoy the little things like warming your wax, brewing your tea, watching the birds outside, and making that special little time that is truly a blessing to you. So this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents, and if you guys cannot find a tea here that you like, good luck finding it elsewhere. But I think I did a good job presenting. I hope that you enjoy this. If you do have a tea that you love for spring summer from some other vendor, or I forgot a style or something, please leave that down in the comments so that I can go and find something new that I haven't tried before too. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.